All right, Nick. Well, let's dive into the main topic of the show. We are grading Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo's 2024 year, and we're gonna take into consideration everything, game wise, news wise, what you didn't like, what they did, what you did like, what they did. Um, so yeah. So
And
where do you want to start?
I think it's important before we start to caveat that
Yeah,
when we're talking about PlayStation and Xbox, we're not just talking about their first party games. We can also talk about exclusive games. So like Stellar Blade,
exactly.
Silent Hill
Yeah.
2, Black
I mean,
Myth.
because if PlayStation didn't have, if they only was only first party, they would have an incredibly weak year.
Yep.
But it turned out to be a really great year for PlayStation. So yeah, for sure.
Well, should we
All right,
start
so
with
where do
PlayStation?
you want to start? You want to start with PlayStation since it's the
Yeah, let's
30th?
do it. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so and Nick, tell me if there's any games that I'm missing. But between first party and third party exclusive PlayStation games, we've got Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Astrobot, uh, Silent Hill 2, Black Myth, Wukong, and Helldivers 2. What am I missing? There's
Concord.
probably some indie exclusive stuff, but what'd you say?
Concord.
Oh, come on. Come
What? You're
on.
saying it doesn't exist anymore?
It doesn't.
But I think that should, I mean, that's got to
It
count
definitely plays a
against.
part.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
plays a part.
it definitely plays a part. Um, so yeah, I just kind of had some brief notes. Not a lot of first party games in this year. Pretty weak, but the third party exclusives definitely made up for it.
Mhm.
I also did a notation of another year without Bloodborne remaster. um, and also for me personally, this is the year that I did finally purchase a PS5. So
Big year
I
for
got to
you.
play. Yeah, good year for me. I started out with Spider-Man 2. Obviously, that came out last year. But I played through that, played through Miles, um, played through a little bit of Death Stranding,
Mhm.
Ghost of Tsushima. I played a little bit of, and I played it just because it's on PlayStation Plus, but I ended up canceling that subscription. Um, what other? I mean, what else besides what I've mentioned? Are you happy that PlayStation did this year, and what are you negative about?
I think them doing the PS5 Pro and it just costing as much as they did and then kind of like taking this path of these very marginal uh, iterative upgrades to systems that aren't really necessary. I think
Yeah,
that's something I didn't like. I wish they would just focus their efforts more on optimizing their games for their current
yeah,
systems than try to create these systems that aren't really doing anything cool. They're not doing anything too cool.
yeah,
Um, so I mean that's one thing I didn't like. I did really like their exclusives this year between Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2, Astrobot,
yeah,
Silent Hill 2, Black Myth Wukong. I mean this is probably one of my favorite years for PlayStation in this generation.
for sure, absolutely.
And going into it, like we didn't expect anything because they said they didn't really have any notable first party releases
Yep,
this year when we went into 2024. So, you know, didn't expect much from it, but it was kind of a sleeper hit carried by their, third party exclusives like the ones I
yep,
mentioned. So,
yeah. I mean,
you know,
and
I
Stellar Blade we knew about, but we didn't know how good it was going to be. Obviously, we didn't know about Astrobot. We knew about Final Fantasy. Silent Hill 2, once it was confirmed it was made by Bloober Team, a lot of people were very skeptical, and rightfully
yeah,
so. I mean, they haven't really made a great game. They made good games. But they haven't made like a great game. And I think about Silent Hill 2 almost every day since I've beaten it. I really, and maybe because it's like I'm on TikTok, so I see a lot of just TikToks about Silent Hill 2. But I think I'm gonna go back and do a second run of it. Um, that game it's up
it's
there.
phenomenal.
It's incredible. Like, yeah, the story is amazing. The acting is incredible. I think I can't remember his name, but the person that plays James should
Mm,
take that award for sure.
yeah.
And then Black Myth. I mean, Black Myth. We didn't know at the time it was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. I don't think.
No, we didn't.
So that was very weird, and it was kind of like a very egregious, maybe kind of like because it was like a very hush hush behind the scenes kind of exclusive, like under the table kind of money.
Well,
Um,
allegedly.
allegedly, but that's what happened. Uh, Helldivers 2, I think, people didn't think it was good. Well, and not people didn't think it was going to be great. I don't think it was. People thought it was going to be as good as it was. Obviously, it took a little bit of a turn with, they're having to log into PlayStation on the PC. A lot of people didn't like that, and then we can't disregard Concord and how it was such an abysmal failure. Like it was just 200 million plus to make that game.
For
What were
nothing.
people like Herman Hulse was like the one that kind of greenlit that game, ended up purchasing that Studio Firewalk. I don't know what he saw in that game to where he think it was a great idea to spend 200 million plus on that game when it's kind of just a
Just kind
generic
of a
Overwatch
generic, yeah.
clone with nothing really new to add to the table. And it was $40. I don't know. Yeah, that just screams bad kind of leadership in my opinion. So we can't look past that. And then the studio closed down because of it. Um, all that being said, what would you grade PlayStation?
I think considering all that, I would go with a B minus.
A B minus. Okay, I went with the B, just a solid B,
Solid
just
B.
because. I mean, some of the best experiences I had this year: Astrobot, Silent Hill 2, Black Myth, and Stellar Blade. All those games are going to be in my top 10. I
Yep.
think all just incredible experiences. Um, yeah, who would have thought? I mean, again, this is the year where I bought my PS5. No really rhyme or reason. I happened to catch it on sale, and it came with Spider-Man 2, and I said, okay, I'm in. And then
Yeah.
Stellar Blade came out, and then Black Myth and all this other stuff. So yeah, it was a great year for a year where we thought it was going to be a bust for PlayStation, and the year that maybe Xbox could kind of catch up a little bit. They had a hell of a year, and I'm very, very happy that I got my PS5.
Yeah, I definitely played my PS5 more this year than I have since I got it back
Yeah.
in 2022. So yeah, I would agree. I think for what it's worth, this was a really great year. I think next year they can really bring it with the first party stuff and hopefully still bring it with the third party. But yeah, this year it was an incredible feat on the third party exclusivity side.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.